information or adds a contact information, you wouldn't know. So what I used to do is that I would connect the Android phone with the Linux machine, and I will fetch the contact storage file from the Android phone to Linux machine. I think it was a DB, but I'm not sure yet. But it was a place where the and contacts were stored. And before doing the test, I would take the hash value, a snapshot of the contact storage, and then I will test the application, and then I will again check the hash value. If it is same before the test, then nothing was altered in the contacts list. So this was another way to put use of MD5 hashing algorithms. Okay, without further boring you, I will quickly move further. So with this minuscule idea, I mean, this is a minuscule idea, but I have made a whole system which is decently big in the making compared to the idea. You see, the objective was to create stuff and apply the coding mechanisms as a part of learning. I wouldn't say it is much of a utility, but can cater to few people or places like journalism, which I can think of, or it may be somewhat useful in security domain. Then next I will show you the architecture of development. From here we will see the website in action all the time, and then I will show you how a user account can be hacked temporarily. But I have a build the security mechanism to prevent that. So this might be interesting to see this action, how a user account is temporarily hacked and can be used. So this is it, guys. So I will start with further topics from here. Hello, guys. I missed something. I'll speak a little about that. This thing also. What you see is a hash given to you, but say I give this hash value to someone else. So, but I give the hash value for my dog to somewhere else. So it cannot be reversed to its original value. You see, if I give this hash value to someone else, he cannot reverse it to get the original value, which is the password. This hash is associated with the text password. He cannot do that. So you see, it is a one-way street. You cannot get back to the original value from the hash. So this is one thing I wanted to say. Okay, so now let's see the development architecture diagram. So I'll make this quick. So what you see here is a machine where the web server is hosted and all the code resides. So here there is a web server, which is a website which is made on Python Django development framework, and this communicates with an API server which is made on Python fast API development framework. Now this API is not publicly available. The outside world has no access to this API. Only the website has access to the API. And this is API using Postgres database, and the Django website is using an SQLite database. I mean, I could have put the same database, a shared database over here, but I had already made the API core thing previously to website. So anyways, the SQLite comes default with Django and it doesn't have much database in it. Then these are n number of users which can log in into the system, like user 1, user 2, n users. And this is a snapshot of each user. So now a user can communicate with the website, and the user can also communicate with the server. Now I tell you what it is. A server client, I needed this model of server client model where the server and the client are standalone scripts. So this server is not actually tightly coupled with the web system. It is a standalone program made on Python sockets. So what it is, this server needs a port, and the client connects to the server with the port. So what happens is that this client connects to the server, and it passes the data to the server. So when the job is done, the server automatically closes. what in effect I can have 60,000 servers for the client. So what I'm doing over here is that for each user there is a unique port for the server, and for each user the API server launches a unique server for each client. So like in effect I can have 60,000 users connecting to 60,000 ports, and whenever the job is done that port becomes free and available for the user. Now, I mean, this is not a Google website where people can run, users can run into millions. That's a different mechanism then. But let me not get into that. So this client is basically when the user logs into the system, he will get a download link for this client. And this client is open source. The user can completely see the source and see what it is doing. The client does not upload any data to the server, but it only collects few things like file name, file path, and the hash value that is given to the server. That becomes one job scan. Now, when the client rescans to see if the file has been altered, he will do a rescan. Each rescan is associated with a previous scan. So at the rescan, the server does not need at the time of the scan, the client will provide a file name list, and those files will be worked upon. But when there is a rescan, the client does not need to provide a file name. It will pass the data of the original scan job to the client, and the client will do the work. This is how it works. Now I tell you why do I need this client server model. See, as a website, as a web server, it cannot go into the user's file system and scan for files. You cannot do that. The user has to there has to be a way a user has to allow me to collect that data. For this reason, there is a client script which is given to the user to collect that data. And this data is only for the user to see for himself. No other user can see his data. When he logs into the system, he gets his own navigation and for the data that he wants to see. Okay, so this was about it. So you see each user can communicate with the website, and it can communicate with the server also with the help of the program. These two things he can do simultaneously. So while when the client is doing the job and communicating with the server, he can continue surfing to the website to see his old data, whatever it is. So this runs parallelly. Now I'll show you where it has been used previously. Like this is a page of last.fm. This was many years ago. Last.fm website is still active, but it has got a new look now. So what it used to do is that is used to generate statistics for the user for the user's profile, like what is the top artist he has been listening to in his system, what are the next top three artists, top 10 artists, what songs he are listening to, and then there was a compatibility feature also. He would get to see his neighbors, like who are listening to similar music that this user has been listening to. So as you see, the last.fm cannot get this data that what the user is listening to is MP3 player. There has to be some way to know that. For this reason, the last.fm used to provide a client scrobbler for each user to download. This is a scrobbler. This used to run in their system tray of the user. And as you see, this part over here is a scrobbling. So like if the user has listened to the song for at least 2 minutes, it is considered as a data and it is passed to the website. And this website will show the statistics. So this is how it had been done previously. Okay. So now let me open the website. Like this is the website, and I go into this and provide my username and password. Okay, so this is how he will be created to. So you see, he downloaded he logged into the application, and a download client link is available to him. This menu can be collapsed and see that and see let's this the first